Hello Year 2, how are you? And welcome to today's English lesson. Now, because we have finished our character descriptions on Farmer Bean, today is going to be a one-off grammar lesson looking at how to use apostrophes for possession. So by the end of today's lesson, you'll know what an apostrophe is and you'll know what possession means. And then once you know what an apostrophe is and what possession means, you'll then be able to use these apostrophes to show possession. Now, some of you might have seen an apostrophe before when you've been reading. Okay, so I would like you to pause the video and have a think. Do you know what an apostrophe is? Have you ever seen one? And if you have, could you draw one on a piece of paper for me? Okay, Year 2. So did you know what an apostrophe is? Fantastic. Well, let's just check that you were correct. Oh, so here is our apostrophe. Can you see our red apostrophe? Now, an apostrophe is a type of punctuation mark, just like a comma, a full stop, a question mark, and an exclamation mark. So there we go. An apostrophe is a punctuation mark. Now, our apostrophe here looks a lot like a comma, doesn't it? It's the same shape. So if a comma and an apostrophe look the same, how are they different? Well, when we write a comma, like we do in our expanded noun phrases, we write it at the bottom of the line that we are writing on, don't we? And you can see in the brackets on this page, on the first lot of brackets, we have a comma in between, and it's at the bottom of the brackets. But then an apostrophe is different because apostrophe we write at the top of the line that we are writing on. And we can see that in the second lot of brackets, we have an apostrophe in the middle, and it is drawn at the top. So there we go. There's the difference. A comma is written at the bottom of our line, but an apostrophe is written at the top. So now that we know what an apostrophe looks like, could you draw one in the air for me? Oh, fantastic. Could you draw another one? Brilliant. And for good luck, let's have another one. Excellent. So we know what an apostrophe looks like. But what is an apostrophe used for? Well, an apostrophe is used to show possession. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. But it is also used to show that some letters of a word have been left out to shorten the word. So, for example, cannot is changed to can't, would not is changed to wouldn't, and it is changed to it's. Now, we will look at this a little bit later on this year, but for today, we are going to be focusing on using these apostrophes to show possession. So the big question here is, what does possession mean? Okay, because without knowing what possession means, we can't use apostrophes to show possession, can we? So pause the video now and have a little think. What does possession mean? Okay, Year 2. So did you know what possession means? Let's find out. So possession is when we own or have something. So when we own or have something, it is called our possession. So for example, this pen here is my possession because it belongs to me. I own it. I could also say that the laptop that I'm recording this video on is my possession because I own it. It belongs to me. I could even say that my hair is my possession because it belongs to me. So now what I'd like you to do is pause the video and have a little think. Can you think of a few possessions that you have? Okay, so have you thought of a couple of possessions, some things that belong to you? Well, I had another little think as well. Now, I think that my coat is my possession because it belongs to me. I also know that my clothes are my possession because they belong to me. And my hairbrush is my possession because it belongs to me. I own all of these things. Okay, so there we go. That's what possession means. So when we own or have something. So let's have a look at a few more examples. Well, here we have a bike, and it tells us that the blue bike belongs to Isla. Okay, so Isla owns this bike. So therefore, it belongs to her. It is her possession. And then we have a car here, a red car, and the car belongs to Jodie. So therefore, it is Jodie's possession because she owns it. And finally, we have a football, and the football belongs to Sam. It is his possession because he owns it. Now, it's quite long to say the blue bike belongs to Isla, the red car belongs to Jodie, the football belongs to Sam. You wouldn't really say that to people, would you? So what would we do? Well, here is another example, because as we said, using the words belongs to doesn't sound right. We wouldn't say these are the parents that belong to Madison, would we? If we were introducing somebody, we wouldn't say these are the parents that belong to Madison. What would we say instead. Okay, so that's my question to you. Could you pause the video and have a think? Okay, so what would you say instead of these are the parents that belong to Madison? Yes, fantastic. You would say these are Madison's parents. So I've taken Madison's name, I've used an apostrophe after it, and then an S, and then I've put parents to show that the parents belong to Madison. I haven't put the apostrophe in the middle of Madison's name, have I? I put it at the end, followed by an S. Okay, so these are Madison's parents. Or you could say these are Lucy's parents. So you'd have the name Lucy with the apostrophe at the end of the name and then an S. Or these are Tom's parents. So you'd have the name Tom, you'd put the apostrophe, and then you'd have the S. Okay, so this is showing that the parents belong to Madison without actually saying these are the parents that belong to Madison. Okay, now let's have a look at some more examples. So here we have 3 more sentences. We have, I ate a big slice of cake that belongs to Tim. Chloe got paint in the hair that belongs to Luna. Serena broke the necklace that belonged to her mum. So let's have a look at the first one together. I ate a big slice of cake that belongs to Tim. Okay, so the cake belongs to Tim. It is Tim's cake. So I could say, I ate a big slice of Tim's cake. But how would I use an apostrophe to show this possession, okay? Because when we're talking, we just say, I ate a big slice of Tim's cake, don't I? We just say Tim's, but we need to know how to use the apostrophe when we write it down to show possession, okay? Because we don't say when we're talking, I ate a big slice of Tim apostrophe S's cake, do we? But when we write it down, we need to use that apostrophe to show possession. So I ate a big slice of Tim's cake. So I'm going to use the name Tim, and then where am I going to need the apostrophe? Am I going to need it in the middle of Tim's name? Well, no, I'm not, am I? I'm going to need it at the end of Tim's name, and it's going to need to be followed by an S. So here we go. I ate a big slice of Tim's cake. Can you see the apostrophe is after Tim's name at the top, and it's followed by an S. So now you have 2 more. You have Chloe got paint in the hair that belongs to Luna, and Serena broke the necklace that belonged to her mum. Can you change these sentences so they no longer say belongs to, but instead use an apostrophe to show possession? Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, so the second one, the hair belongs to Luna. So therefore it is Luna's hair, isn't it? Chloe got paint in Luna's hair. So therefore we'd need to use an apostrophe after Luna's name. So we'd need Luna, apostrophe, S, to show that the hair belongs to Luna. So therefore we'd write Chloe got paint in Luna's hair. Can you see I've got the apostrophe after Luna's name and then an S after the apostrophe. And then finally, Serena broke the necklace that belonged to her mum. Well, the necklace belongs to Serena's mum, doesn't it? So Serena broke her mum's necklace because the necklace belongs to her mum. So Serena broke her mum's necklace. Now we're going to use the word mum here because that's who it belongs to. I'm going to put an apostrophe after it and then an S. So therefore, Serena broke her mum's necklace. So we've got mum followed by an apostrophe followed by an S. Okay, now you can use nouns as well for this. So for example, you could say, I threw the dog's ball. Okay, so therefore you'd have dog, you'd have the apostrophe, and then you'd have the S. So you can also do this with nouns as long as it belongs to a person or an animal or a thing, okay? But in this lesson, we're mainly focusing on using people's names and saying that something belongs to them. But you can say that something belongs to a dog, something belongs to a cat. You can even say something belongs to the house, okay? And we can use an apostrophe S to show this possession. So here we have some people and they are saying, my skateboard is very fast. This kite is amazing. I love my skipping rope. This is my favourite book. Okay, now we need to find out what belongs to which child, and then we need to write a sentence to show, using an apostrophe, that they are their possession. So let's have a look at the first one together. Well, the first picture is of a book, isn't it? Now, who owns a book? Oh, look, Akwib owns a book. So therefore, we can say that the book is Akwib's, or Akwib's book. Okay, so this is Akwib's book. And I put his name, Akwib, and then I put an apostrophe after it, followed by an S. It is Akwib's book. Now, what about the next one? We've got a skateboard. Now, who owns a skateboard? Is it Sophie, Jared, or Anna? Oh, it's Sophie, isn't it? So therefore, it is Sophie's skateboard. And I would write the name Sophie, followed by an apostrophe, followed by an S. It is Sophie's skateboard. Now, I would like you to pause the video and see if you can work out what sentence could you write for the kite and for the skipping rope. Who do they belong to? Can you use an apostrophe for possession? Okay, so let's have a look at these together. Well, we've got the kite next. Now, who does the kite belong to? The kite belongs to Jared. He says this kite is amazing. So therefore, it is Jared's kite. So we would have Jared's name, followed by an apostrophe, followed by an S, and then kite. It is Jared's kite. It belongs to him. It is his possession, and that's why we are using the apostrophe. And then finally, the skipping rope belongs to Anna. So therefore, it is Anna's skipping rope, and we would write Anna's name, followed by an apostrophe, followed by an S, and then skipping rope. It is Anna's skipping rope. So well done if you got those right. Now we have